Today I will be discussing my working capital simulation. Throughout a couple rounds of this, I was able to increase the company's total value as well as their equity value. In this video, I will be um, walking you through the process of how I got there and what investments I decided to make and decided not to make, and um, showing you how I did it. So, my first impression of the company by using the balance sheet, the income statement, and the statement of cash flows, my perception is that their sales were pretty much constant, and it didn't increase either over the past couple years. And then that they also needed to decrease their accounts receivable as well. So from reading the overview of Sunflower NutriCows, it seems like they were looking for a new financing option. And after I read through the three options, I thought the best one, in my opinion, would to go with the Flores Debt Plus free equity option. This is because their interest rate is relatively low. However, they do require equity and a stake within the company, which is perfectly fine. I didn't want to go with the MDM Bake option because it seemed like in the overview here, it seemed like they were about to let them go uh, as a client. And then in the A and T option, the interest rate was pretty high, so I decided to not go with that. So I'm just going to submit my financial decision here. And now we can look back at our dashboard and see what our next decision will be. And through phase one, I know I didn't want to invest a whole bunch. So the ones I chose to pick were the leverage supplier discount. And I thought this would be good because it gave us a 2% discount on raw materials, and it also lowers our accounts payable, which is what we want to do. That was the overall goal, was to lower the accounts payable. So I decided to accept this offer. And the next one I decided to accept was to tighten accounts receivable because, like I mentioned earlier, we wanted to decrease our accounts receivable account. So I'll go ahead and accept this here. A reason why I decided not to acquire a new customer is because, one, we're fairly new, and I feel like that's a little bit of a risk right now. So I decided to decline this opportunity, as well as drop poorly selling products. So I'm going to submit my decision here. And as you can see from the balance sheet, our accounts receivable is starting to decrease. And our sales are still remaining constant. However, in the incoming decisions, it will start to increase. So now we're on to phase two. And again, I didn't want to take a huge risk in investing. So I decided to only choose 2 investments this time around. And those would be to pursue the big box distribution. And this is because it would increase, I felt like it would increase our sales. So our change in sales would increase over the next couple of years. So I will go ahead and accept this. And then the next one would be to expand the online presence. Once again, it would increase our income as well as decrease our accounts receivables as well. So I'll go ahead and accept that. And I'm going to decline the develop a private label product. Now, as you can see in phase 2, our equity value has already increased, and our sales have also is also increasing and is no longer remaining constant. And like I mentioned earlier, our sales are increasing steadily, which is what we want. Now in phase 3, I didn't want to acquire a high risk customer. Even though it would increase our sales by 30%, it did forecast that they had a probability of declaring bankruptcy, and the recovery rate is pretty high. So I decided not to go with that option. So I declined it. But I did accept the Renegade supplier credit terms. And this is because it's offering a 3% discount on payment within 10 days. So I accepted this offer, and then I also accepted to adopt a global expansion strategy. This is because it would increase our sales from 2019 to 2021. And it would decrease our DSO by almost 2 days. So I decided to accept this offer as well. And at the end of 2021, I was able to increase the sales by a little over $1,000 and increase the equity value of the company as well. So there's a steady increase in sales throughout 2018 to 2021. Although it wasn't a huge jump in sales, it's no longer constant, and it's steadily increasing just by investing in those small opportunities. And then our accounts receivable, it remained constant, as well as our assets. So throughout this, these are my final numbers. Throughout these investments, my sales ended up being a little over 17,000, and then the total firm value I was able to increase to a little over 4,000.